Okay, out in the carport garage today, and I'm messing with some wastegates. Austin's supposed to be over here in a little bit to finish working up on the 5.3, but I don't know nothing about wastegates. So I had to message a buddy of mine, KY No Prep. KY stands for Kentucky. It's his YouTube channel. He does a lot of the hard tire racing on a 5.3 turbo and a little S10, I believe it is. But I was like, why is there no seal there? So I took one off of Austin's car, and his looked like that too. I was like, surely that can't be like that. So there's a fire ring that goes down in there. It's called a fire ring, and it seals when you put the part that this bolts to. I'll show you on this other one. I was changing the springs in these. It said it came with 14-pound springs, but it had 2 springs in it. There was a big one and a, I think they're over here still. Yeah, a big one, big round one, and a small skinny one. But this GT45, it's only gonna make about 14 pounds of boost. So I took one of the springs out and just put the big one in here. I'm just using this clamp, but you'll see, well, I'll show you when I get this bolted down and get the clamp off of it. I put the clamp on there because these threads, they aren't that big, and if you take them all, before I was taking them all out, and then I was leaving the 2 side ones in and loosening a little, loosen a little, loosen a little, and it still popped one of the screws out and kind of ruined some of the threads at the top. So I've been doing it like this to hold it together. I gotta bolt those down, but that's what it looks like on the top. And that rubber seal, it folds down in there, and when you put the top on it, it kind of clamps it down to make it airtight. But I'll show you all that in a minute. So this seal, see that little ledge down in there? It flips down in there like that all the way around. And then when you put the cap on it with the spring, it pushes down on these sides and holds it down. But if y'all are stupid like me and are wondering, why is that not sealing? There's this ring. So you got this piece right here. That piece goes to the exhaust where it's gonna blow the exhaust out, and then that. See if I can do this. This goes down in here, and that seals it. And then this is the piece that welds to the exhaust, which is your V-band clamp. That goes there like that, and that holds that fire ring down in there. And then you put your V-band clamp on, and it holds it all together for a leak-free seal. Once you have that, you can blow in it. It's still leaking, but once I tighten that down, it won't leak. But yeah, you put the bolt in here, tighten the V-band down, and it won't leak. And that's how that works. And then next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook air pressure up to the, I'm gonna plug these side ports, and then I'm gonna leave one of them open. And I'm gonna plug one of these top ports and leave one open. There's 2 top ports. And I'm gonna plug all the side ports except for one. I'm gonna blow air from the air compressor down in there and see where that spring opens up at with just the big spring. There's a big spring and a small spring, but I think they're the same poundage. One just fits on the inside of the cap, and one kind of fits right in here. The other one fits around the outer edge, so you can double them up. I think when they're doubled up, they're 14 pounds, what the listing said, but let's see what one of them is. Because If I put 14, with a 14-pound spring, I guess you can go up to 28 pounds. A 7-pound spring can go up to 14 pounds. So you have that adjustability. So with a 5.3 with a GT45 turbo, you're only going to get about 14 pounds from what I'm reading and seeing on the dyno. So I want to be able to adjust it from 7 to 14, so I need a 7-pound spring. So I got the fire ring in this one, I got the V-band, and it all tightened down, and the spring in it. So now I shouldn't be able to blow through this one at all. I know this looks bad, but experimental purposes. Yeah, nothing. So yeah, I was wondering why that was leaking. And Austin's, I took one of his off to see if that gap was supposed to be there, because I don't know nothing about wastegates. I bought these on eBay and I'm just trying to get them ready. I knew that wasn't supposed to leak like that, but I took one off Austin's car and his leaks like that. His doesn't have the fire ring in it, so he's got a boost leak there. And that keeps the car from spooling up faster, plus it lowers the boost it can go up to. So when he gets here, I'm going to tell him about that. So to seal these ports, these little studs, they have these rubber seals and they have these metal kind of gaskets that you kind of use for your brake lines. And I'm going to use these, or brass, whatever those are made out of. I'm going to use the brass ones because when I tighten the rubber ones up in there, the rubber seal tried to jump out of there. It just tried to jump clean off the side of the nut, and it just wasn't sealing right. So I'm using these. All right, so I got this one working like a champ. It works good. But where my gauge, it's hard to tell where it opens at. I mean, it does open in between that 10 mark and the 20 mark, but, or I don't know. I can't tell with that gauge. I need to get a better inline gauge to be able to tell where they open at, but I'm pretty comfortable believing those are 7-pound springs. So that's what we're going to go with. I think they're 7 each for a total of 14 is what I think they are. So that'll give me adjustment from 7 to 14 PSI, or it should. Yeah. No leaks here at the diaphragm. No leaks blowing through this top part if I ever want to put pressure on the top part. So what happens is you get boost, and then the boost blows through here, and the boost pressure tries to push that open. Also, you can put a line here from a manual boost controller, and I guess it'll only push open like right there at double the spring pressure. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong on this. I don't know much about this stuff, but I'm just going off, taking these apart and looking at them, what I see. But now you can also come off of, boost pressure and have it going in here, and that'll help open it. So if you got, 7 pounds of boost pressure here and 7 pounds of boost pressure here, it'll open it. That's the way I'm figuring. Now, you can plug, and you have to leave one of these open for it to bleed that out, one of these. But now, you can also put a line here, leave one of these open, and then put pressure on the top to make it stay closed. Usually you do that with a boost controller from what I understand, but if I'm saying this wrong, y'all please correct me. But I just wanted to show you guys the eBay wastegates, and this one works good. That one, the diaphragm's leaking, so when I blow air in here, it's just coming out and it's not opening it. So I'm gonna try to fix that. So if you don't get this ledge where my thumb's at, right down in that groove, just right, all the way around, it will not seal. And see how it tries to come out and then it grabs sideways on it? See, the fun part is trying to make that stay down, put the spring on it, and push everything down without that popping out. That's the fun part. That's why it's leaking. I was able to get the cap on it and hold it down and blow through the hole, and it was working. But now we got to try to put the spring on it and keep it down. It's not easy. And now they're both all set and they both work like a charm. There's no leaks blowing through there. There's no leaks blowing through the top. And there's no leaks blowing through there. So that'll work. They work good. Not too bad for some cheap eBay parts.
Yeah, if you want to have big cube, it wouldn't. Send that to Billy.
So we took Austin's wastegates off. I don't know how this car made 593 on the dyno, because his wastegate don't even have the fire ring on it. Look, you can see right through there. There ain't no telling how much boost he was losing like that. These are supposed to have a fire ring on there, and then a plate that holds the fire ring in, and that's what the valve puck, whatever you want to call it, seals on. I'm learning a lot about wastegates today. But yeah, I don't even know how that builds boost, like how he even built a boost without that fire ring. Neither one of them got it in there. We took them both off. All right, also on them wastegates, you don't want to blow a whole bunch of pressure through there. So this little air compressor, you can turn all the way down and turn the air off that's coming out. This is what's in the tank. And then I had a fitting with a barbed hose on here, and then I just ran a hose straight from there to one of the bottom ports on the wastegate, and then I just slowly turned this up to see where it, and this would go up to slowly see where the what pressure the wastegate cracked at, and what pressure it opened all the way. And I guess the pressure it opens all the way is the pounds of your spring, I'm guessing, but it's too hard to tell, like I said before on that, what the pressure is at. It just don't read good that low. But yeah, don't have this set to 100 and try to blow air through your wastegate. You're probably going to ruin the diaphragm. And this is the eBay wastegate that I ordered, and I'll put a link to that one in the description if y'all are interested in that one. And here's some item specifics on it. But yeah, they work pretty good from, you know, the assembly and testing I done on them. But y'all like and subscribe. Have a great day.